Well, good morning, and again, everybody, please keep, if you have some background noise, I don't want to mute the call here. It's four star on your telephone keypad. Dr. Denis, I don't see you here. Where are you? We just spoke a little while ago, so he's leaving this up to me. I want you to know how they thought I would be intimidated. Joe and Boomer and Dr. D. I don't know. He was here a second ago. Where are you? Anyway, no big deal. I want to leave it open because the only thing I want to do is turn off these chimes. People keep coming in, so let me do that first. Attendee tone. Okay, so you won't hear that anymore. Okay, Dr. D, there you are. How are you?
I'm good. Apparently the only one with all this crisis going on here. I was on on Skype with some people in England who were freaking out, so I say goodbye to them.
Well, we're not going to England this month. Sofa is on here, and I'm going to Hawaii. Next month. I'm going there anyway, so we'll be visiting Sofa.
There we go. Hawaii sounds
all right. Well,
right.
Look, as you may all know and got a notice, Joe, Norman, and Dan Girolmo, better known as Boomer to some of you, are on a corporate call. I don't know what's going on that call. They sent me some notices and asked me to cover a couple of things, which is, getting your business started. And let's just be realistic here. Probably everyone on the call has either been here before, you're involved in networking, you know about the company. As far as updates are concerned, Joe has those on a daily basis. With that, I don't have for you. After this call today, we'll have some updates. Obviously, it's a pretty important call. They're both on there, I guess, with Cheryl Ann and some crew, but I don't know what's going on there. But let's do this. I don't know what's happening with your business. I don't know, what it is that you're doing on a regular basis. But let me just cover a few things that I'd like to cover. I normally cover. And keep in mind, if you would hit 4-star on your telephone keypad, that would block out your noise without me muting the whole call, because I want to leave some people open here. Bill Peters and Tom Richardson. Make sure you're available to come in. Deborah. I know different people. I mean, that's not limited to those people, but I notice on here, Deanna's on. There's a whole bunch of people in there. So, feel free to jump in here as part of the panel, and you want to, have a discussion, go in a certain area and talk. What I wanted to say, once again, 4-star. I still hear background noise. If somebody is not hitting 4-star, everyone could do that. And then if you want to talk, come back in and hit 4-star again, and you'd be right there. Then I don't have to actually mute it on this end and mute everybody out. So please do that. Or mute your own phone, and that way we won't have the background noise. So, but I talked about this the other day on a different call, but I meet with a group of people all the time, and the important thing that we have to learn, this is an obviously a well-known industry now. A lot of people are afraid of it, because they don't understand it. They don't really get it. We spent some time yesterday on the phone with Tom Richardson's new prospects, suspects, whatever you want to call them, and they were very nice people, Italian people from up in I think Ohio. Tom, where are they from, or Minnesota? But I can't remember, and I apologize, but had a great talk because they had a lot of good questions about the company and the past and things they had heard, and what do we do, and they wanted to know what Joe Norman did. They wanted to know what I did and what my background was and all. And I can only tell you that, over the years, owning my own personal business, and then, I did that for 15 to 18 years in the regular conventional world. And I related that when I got here. At first, I didn't understand it. Somebody still got background noise, and please don't make me hit this, mute the whole call. I hear papers shuffling and stuff like that. You've got to hit 4-star on your telephone keypad. I want to keep interrupting the call to do that. Either you're not paying attention, or you don't have to tell me who you are. Just hit 4-star. So, having a business is no different than like in the networking arena. I learned way back that it's not a whole lot different than having a storefront. And you really have to look at it that way because you have objectives. So I don't know what everybody's doing on a regular basis. What you should be doing, whatever time you map out for your business, or you're in business all the time and you're always doing your business. Some people do that. Some people have lots of family time, and they want to, just devote certain amounts of time to it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going...
Conference muted.
Okay, lines are now muted, so we'll take care of that. We can unlock some lines here. But what you have to do is look at it like a conventional business. Here's what I mean by that. You have to announce that you're in business to people. I know this is old news, but if you're not growing and you're not adding people to your team all the time and your team's not adding people, then maybe you're not following, a pattern here that you need to follow. Here's the key to this whole business. I learned this a long time ago from one of my great mentors who is at $18 million a year today. And that is, you have to be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. That's what our business is about. It's no different than a furniture store. You have to be part of a store that business never stops. You could say it that way, because our business is two things. It is getting some sales, a little bit, and finding people who can get a little bit of sales. So it goes hand in hand with this phrase. And that is, it's the law of large numbers in the shortest period of time. That's one thing. It's not just the law of large numbers. It's the law of large numbers in the shortest period of time. Have to be part of a system whereby the recruiting never stops. And I lost my train of thought there for a second about one topic, but we'll get back to it. But if you're part of the system or you create a system, I say be part of a system. And what you have to do is to announce your business. There are two parts to it. As I said, you have to get customers, and you have to find people who want to get a few customers. And it's about a lot of people doing a little. That's what I forgot now. Remember, it's about a lot of people doing a little. It's not about you getting 50 sales, 20 sales. I don't know anybody that ever grew a business in the networking arena that only had, say, I don't even know anybody that ever had 100 sales. And that's not if you did have 100 sales every single month, it's still not enough. I mean, personally recruited people buying gold every month, you still don't make enough money unless they had large amounts all the time. I don't know. I don't know anybody that ever built a business like that. What they did, all the people who made a lot of money in this industry have had a few sales and found others who want to have a few sales. Now, as simple as that sounds, the only options we had way back was go talk to your family and friends. And at some point, at one point, that's what I believed. And afterwards, I didn't believe it anymore. I believed that you had to go outside of your world and go create a new world where you basically were knocking on doors. I have a friend who does that for Comcast, that knocks on doors every single day and finds people who are interested. And he gets the door shut in his face. The stories he tells me, it's crazy. Why he doesn't do this, I don't know, but he knocks on doors and talks to people who've been shut off or, went to another service and came back, and now Comcast wants them back. So he goes and knocks on their door. And he gets thrown off the porch. He said 90% of the time, get out. Oh, I don't want this. I hate what they did. Now, we deal with the same thing, except we are not face-to-face. We're not knocking on the door, but we're ringing the phone, or we're sending him an email. So the point is that you have to do something. Your business will not grow unless you find new people who want to find new people. Remember, part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. What's the system? Have a regular schedule where you prospect and you find people. How do you do that? Talk to everybody you know if you want. But if you run out of that, what do you do? How do you go do it? I know I can see people on this line right now that have run out of people to talk to, and they don't know where to go. So, they know knowing me where to go, because I could just as easily pick up a phone book, although the no-call list exists now, so you can't do that. We did it before. Before that existed, that rule we were able to build a $30,000-$40,000 a month income just out of a phone book. Why? Because we called everybody we knew. We knocked on every door like my buddy at Comcast and found the interested people, those that were interested. Interested in what? Not buying gold, but yeah, buying some gold, but interested in finding others who want to buy some gold. That's what the key was. It wasn't just buy the gold. Okay, if they wanted to have some gold, great. But the building of it is another location where a person like you is finding a couple of people. It sounds so simple when you put it like that. I mean, it's how can you not find 3 people? What you have to do is knock on enough doors. And so how do you do it? I mean, we could go over dialogue and so on. We've been over this many times. We've held classes. You just have to find the interested people by having enough courage to pick up the phone. But I'll take you back a step. Most people will not do that because they're afraid of the questions that come. They don't have the answers. They don't know how to deal with it. It's embarrassing. You look stupid, and you don't want to do it. And you get rejected because they say no. I tell you, I'm just going to tell you a secret to what I do. Every call that I make, I am trying to dismiss the person and find the ones who are interested. Now, I don't mean that I go in and can't wait to dismiss them. I'm looking for signals that say this is not the person I want. Most people will tell you to give them enough information and find the interested parties, give them a little bit more, feed them. I'm not interested in that. I am interested in getting rid of the people who are not interested. That will have me discover the ones who are. So when I hear negative comments on a phone, I give them a couple of chances, and I politely dismiss them. That's what I call it, dismissing. It sounds a little rude and crude, but it's not exactly how I do it. But that is the term that I use. I find a way to say, Frank, I'm sorry, let me ask you a question. Who do you know that would be interested in a career change for the right money? It's not him, so why would I play around and try to give him more information and try to interest him? You know what I always say? Don't try to interest people in things. Find the interested people. How do you do it? Well, you do it by the process. Find out where they aren't as opposed to where they are. So I find a lot of aren'ts. That's what I do. That's what I'm looking for it all the time. And the people that are interested show up. So when I find signals of people who say, yeah, Joe, I've been this route before, and as soon as there's comments like that start, I go, check mark. Here's strike one. And that's okay. Sure, Frank, I understand. I understand where you are. A lot of people have that feeling. I had it at one time. But, I see something different here. Yeah, but, it's just when they start doing that, I go, why would I even talk? I'm just going to be real nice and say, hey, Frank, I understand where you're coming from. Let me ask you a question. Who do you know that would be interested in a career change for the right money? I can't tell you how fast I get through phone calls with that method. And I've been doing this for a long time. I finally discovered, after a couple of years, maybe my first year in networking, that talking to people and trying to feed them and drip them and all led to nothing but wasted time for me. Finding the ones who were interested is by way of dismissing the ones who aren't made it much easier for me. I don't have to deal with all the negative stuff. Once they tell me a couple of times, I ask him a question. And then at the end of the conversation, I say to them, well, Frank, thanks a lot. He says, I don't really know anybody. And I say, great. Do me a favor. Would you do me a favor, Frank, and keep my number handy? If you do come across someone that would be interested in a career change and looking for a 6-figure income, would you mind sending them my way? And he usually says, no, I wouldn't mind. He laughs. I don't laugh. He laughs. And I say, yeah. And Frank, one more thing. Please don't send me anybody you wouldn't hire yourself. Is that fair? Yeah, that's fair, Joe. No problem. And I tell you, I've had phone calls back from people who said, yeah, this guy sent me over here and said you might be interested in da-da-da-da-da. So, again, it's a process that makes you feel comfortable. I have no problem. I could use a phone book to a list. Doesn't matter. All I care about is finding the interested ones by eliminating the ones that aren't. So, anyway, I'm going to open up the call again, and that's really the process that I have. How do you build your business? You start out by making a plan for yourself to say, what do I really want to do? And that is, do you want to go sell gold? Go sell it. But if you want to build a business, then find the interested parties who want to build a business. Simple as that. and use your methods that you want. But I tell you, that's the method that I use that's been successful. I've had people come to me and say, how could you, why don't you, and how could you eliminate, I'm eliminating 98% of the people I call aren't interested anyway, so what do I care? And I'm not rude to them. I'm very nice and polite, and, but basically I get to the point within 3 minutes. It's not you, Frank. I don't say that to them. In my mind, they go, it's not you. Okay, got one I can eliminate. Here we go. And I do the elimination. Feels a lot better, me eliminating them, than them eliminating me. So I always have the other thing, Bill, I always think in the back of my mind, is this the person I really want to work with? I'm really interviewing them at this point. Without them really knowing it, they can interview me and ask me the questions. But I'm really interviewing and finding out what attitude I have. Do I really have an interested party, or is it somebody who says, yeah, I'll just go and I'll take a look, send it over. But I won't make an appointment with you. If they take the information, they don't set an appointment, I'll send them the information. I need an appointment back so that I can see if we had a match and if we really can move forward. Not sure that we can. Now, in between all that, there are a lot of questions that come up. Tell me about your company. Do you make any money? How long have you been in? Who would I be working with? Why should I come with you? All that stuff. And if you have answers for it all, that all start with, sure, that's not a problem. Fine, let me answer that for you. If you start with, I gave an example the other day to my friend who's in sales, same guy. I asked him, what do you do if somebody kicks you off the porch? I mean, what do you say when they say, look, get out of here? Anyway. It's sure not a problem. I'm really sorry that you had that experience with Comcast. I really apologize. I want you to know that I am the new rep in the area, and that I will make sure that your account is good this time. And I apologize for the last experience you had. If there's any reason, that you need me, would you please give me a call? Here's my card. And you leave it with them. Or you say, if there's any, Frank, if I can show you this time that we could be a great company, support you in every single way and give you everything that you need, is there any reason why you wouldn't do business with us again? You don't ask them to do it. You ask them, is there any reason they wouldn't? But I asked him, questions about his job and what would it take to really find if the party was interested or really not, or they're just so mad at the company. Anyway, I'm going to open up this line. We can talk a little bit.
Line unmuted.
So we're all unmuted now. Please check. You're back. Anyway, we're going to keep this all down to a few more minutes. If you have any questions regarding what we talked about and started or maintaining your business, our 5-star will raise your hand or just chime in. Okay. 5-star. Hey, everybody has their business going. That's great. All right, I don't know who this is. I'm unlocking you low. It's Sofa. There you go. Area code 808. Sofa. Well, if I can get you unmuted. There we go. Hey, Sofa.
Yes. Hey, you can hear me?
I can.
Huh?
I can.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Hey, listen, that's good stuff that you just shared a little well. Apparently, just want to share a little bit. You're absolutely right. You don't want to waste your time with those people. I think I used the scenario red, blue, and green. Red are the professional, and blue are the people in your family, and greens are the people that have complained.
Yeah.
So, great scenario that you have. You can sort up your people that want interest in the field that you want to work with them. So, great stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Sofa. And by the way, I want to talk to you today, so I'll give you a call in a little bit. When you're, I know it's early for you over there, but I do want to speak with you today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. This just came back to mind here before I go to you, Tom. I asked, this has to do with when somebody asks you a question about you. This is really critical. When someone comes in and starts asking you questions, and people are afraid, okay, you always have to say, sure, not a problem, let me handle that for you. Or, sure, not a problem, I can get that handled for you. You have to say that first. Here's why. Let me give you an example. Let's assume you're a teenager again. and you are asking your parents asking them to allow you to go for the weekend with your friends. You're only 17 years old. You can't do what you want yet. You have to get permission. And so you ask your parents, can you go to the shore? Can I go to the mountains? I'm going to, friends and I, we're going to go here. Can I go? All right, now let's assume your parents do this. Let's take scenario one. Parents say, well, you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure whether or not you really. Now, just imagine if the conversation starts like that with your parents. Just go back and think about what the first thing you were going to do was. Automatically, you're going to start defending, and you're going to start on the offense, and you're going to start selling yourself as to why you should be going. That's what you're going to do. I mean, you don't just say, oh, okay, sure, I get your point, and walk away. Okay, so there's the conversation starts off bad. As soon as the parent starts in with, well, you know what, that last time you or your friends, and where are you really going to stay? I don't know if we should let you. Okay, that's one way it could be handled. But how about if your parents went like this? And some of our parents did this. Well, sure, I don't have a problem with that. Why don't we sit down and discuss that and see where we're going with that? Just imagine for a minute, look at the two situations and tell me which one you would feel better about. Now, you have to tell me, but tell yourself that. What would happen? Now, to go into business now and go in and relate that to the first thing you say to a person when they have a question for you. If you start going, well, let me say this. The last time we had, and the company, and you start doing that, a negative feeling comes to that person. You've just transferred negativity to that person. I don't care what you say. It's how you say it. But if you start that conversation immediately with, I don't care how many times they ask you a question, sure, that's not a problem, Frank. I can get that handled for you, too. Let me do this. And if you don't know the answer, you tell them, I can get that for you. Let me jot it down. I'll get one of our directors to handle that for you. It's not one of the areas of my expertise, so I'll handle it this way. So do you have another question, Frank? If you handle it that way, Frank's going, wow, it's a great person to be with. Hey, we can sit down and get this accomplished. But if you go, well, I don't know, it's not really something they go, well, I'm with the wrong person. People don't follow people. They follow courage. You have to have enough courage to do that. Anyway, that is a big tip I can tell you. It changed my career when I learned that, and I did it every time. And I didn't make it up. It's what I was taught. Anyway, Tom Richardson, I'm going to unlock your line there, partner. On there, or you can do it, I guess, and I'll unlock it right now. Hey, Tom, great job yesterday, by the way, putting those people on the call and all. Great.
Well, thank you, Joe. You and Joe Norman were just fantastic. So what I wanted to do is to share some of the things that I've found in doing this business. I came out of the corporate world, and it's a whole different world in the corporate world because you're dealing with employees.
Yes.
You are in this business, you are dealing with individual business people.
Yeah.
They come from all walks of life. And so the first thing I did with our group is I put together a directory.
Hey, Tom, hold that thought for a minute. I'm going to mute the call. I still have background noise, and then I'm going to unmute you.
Line muted.
Okay, Tom, we're back now. That noise should be gone. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to share something with everybody that's on the call today. There really is no fear. I've taken the fear out of contacting people with this basic approach to this business. We took our people and I developed a directory so at least there's a place where they can call, where they can go to the different URLs and get some education. And I place them as here's a must that you must go into and study it. It's what you do in any business. The more you study it, the more you know, the easier it becomes for you. You get the fear comes out of you. What we did to take the fear out of our new people is we did the Boomer 2-minute recording on their cell phones. And as Joe Norman used to say, or does still say, if you want to find someone, just look for someone who has a savings account or a checking account. And that's anybody that you deal with or you come into contact with. You have your cell phone. If it's appropriate, say, do you have 2 minutes to take a listen to this call? So in other words, you don't have to have all the knowledge. You have the call that's going to present the knowledge to the receptive listener, and then they get, as you say, you're looking for people of interest. Okay, they're either interested or they're not interested. If they're interested, you can say, well, if you want to share your email with me, I've got some other information I can pass on to you, and we can go from there. But you want to get their email because that's a contact for you. And once you have that contact, then you can work it easily any way you want. Give them URLs that we have in the training session. There's plenty of information there, sometimes too much. So what we did, we tried to narrow it down to the easy basic concepts to begin with. So everybody, and I tell everybody in the beginning, you're just a messenger. You're not the message. Use the tools you have. For example, the 2-minute recording on your cell phone, or else send them to one of the URLs and let them take a look at it and let them make the decision. You don't ever want to give them the concept that you're trying to sell them anything. All you're trying to do is find out if they have an interest. If they have, then pass on some more information to them so they can begin to understand this business. We're in the gold business. We're not selling juice or skincare or anything like that. So it's so important that you get their attention and you get into the process of helping them learn something. And it just evolves.
Yeah.
And once they know they are in control, they're going to follow you. They're going to follow your direction. They're going to follow the information you're giving them. So you don't have to know everything about this, but in the course of doing your business, you have to continue to learn it, and as you learn it, you get better at it, and take the fear out of it. You're just showing them something. That's it for now, Joe.
Yeah, Tom, great stuff. I mean, you're absolutely right, and you're building a great business. And as I said, it was a great job yesterday with your people. And all right, so let me do this, and any other questions? Otherwise, we are at 11:28. I would like to close here. So what we'll do is do it, since I don't see any other hands raised. So here's to your success. Have fun in this new year, and you know what? Get a plan for yourself and figure out how to make this work for you. If it's not, if it is, great. And you have a method, but be part of a system and teach your people that we can never stop looking for new locations. And if you teach your team the system, then the system will take care of itself. And you, at some point, won't be recruiting while others are. Your locations are still making money. Anyway, have a fun day, everybody. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the input. Have a great day.